big selling point of the industry.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then I think one of the final questions is something that, so I'm not from the industry. I am, I do have a technical background, so a lot of what I see makes sense. But to me, as what I would consider an outsider a year ago, this is an industry that nobody seems to think about. People in the US, I think the numbers of that people eat out are huge. They all get their food, it all comes out, they know there's equipment there. Do you think there's value in just having people think a little bit more about, how did you get that food and who helped make that happen?
Yeah.
The guys that worked overnight to clean the equipment. And,
That's what I talked about in the presentation. When I was at the high school, I said, how many people in here go out to eat? Everyone, raise your hand, obviously. And I said, so you might not realize this, but say you're in a steakhouse and there was a broiler down. Maybe a Malky technician was there 2 hours beforehand to make sure that that was working, so they didn't have to 86 the steaks that night. You're eating that steak because a direct reason attached to my business. And when you put things in those terms, people don't realize, what's going on in a restaurant. Food just shows up. Things just happen. Oh, thanks so much. The server brought it. It's controlled chaos in that kitchen. And, service companies across the country, we're in the trenches. We're in there early. We're in there late. We're in there on weekends, making sure that those fryers are up and running, those grills are going, the refrigeration is where it needs to be, so we're keeping people safe. It's a big responsibility. I always say, well, listen, we're not saving lives, right? But we're saving people's businesses. And that's important. So we have important jobs every day. That's why, even as a small business owner, when someone calls out, a technician calls out, or this, it affects the entire company. And so when people understand that there's such a responsibility when you join the food service equipment industry, you have a lot on your shoulders, and I wouldn't take that as anxiety or stress. Look at that as like pride. Like, I'm getting stuff done so other people can feed their families. And I think that's super important to bring up because, yeah, I think people don't realize the back of the house kind of thing. And it's more than just a chef cooking, There's service partners in there right alongside them a lot of times.
Yeah, that is fantastic.